Welcome back to Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to another edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show, where we cover everything out here on the diamond with the South Greene Rebels baseball team. As always, joined here with South Greene head coach Dalton Ramsey. Coach,
what's up?
How's it going?
Can't complain. Beautiful day.
Is it any different for you without grassroots media?
I was about to say that was kind of a different intro. I wasn't prepared for it. Kind of shocked me.
I mean, every intro I've done, I don't have one down pat yet.
Yeah.
For grassroots, it was easy because for 4 years I did 500-600 interviews where you do the same intro for every one of them.
What you're saying going to be, or what is it the people call it, the newscasters call it?
Well, so far this week I've said welcome back to the zone, Green Sports Zone that is. I didn't do it this time because, I mean, off record they won't see it, but right before this we joked about it. I almost started the show with grassroots media. Just
Absolutely.
Force of habit. So I've got to kind of like train my mind now that I've got to say Green Sports Zone. So hopefully maybe by next year I'll have something down pat by then. For this little transitional period right here, it'll be tough, but at the same time, it's the same coverage. New website, new logo, same coverage, same faces, same everybody, so everything will remain the same. We're out here on Rebel Hill.
That's right.
Beautiful scenery. Oh, I don't know if you would really say it's beautiful behind us, but we've got a beautiful scenery out here. The skies are blue, clouds are in the sky. Looks like we won't have any rain. You got Chuckey-Doak later today.
Correct.
Just give me a little short intro about what you're expecting out of the Chuckey-Doak games tonight.
Chuckey-Doak, very solid squad, through and through. I think 1 through 9 can hit the ball very well. They play solid defense. Their pitching staff is pretty good. Solid team. We've got to come out and play the baseball that we know how to play. Last night we kind of had a good sign of it. Playing Hampton last night, we had a good sign of good, clean baseball, and I'm hoping that carries over to today.
Yeah, and to get to this Chuckey-Doak game, you had to go through Hampton twice.
Correct.
You played them first on Wednesday night, suffered a 6-5 loss, which then turned around and pitted you against them or Chuckey-Doak again on Thursday. Chuckey-Doak was able to beat Hampton right after Hampton beat you, so that put you against Hampton again on Thursday. You were able to get an 11-0 win in 5 innings, total domination in that one over the Bulldogs. Tyler Davis on the mound did not allow a hit until the 4th inning. You did what you needed to do in an elimination game to put you in another elimination scenario again against Chuckey-Doak on Friday, the current day that we're recording this. So take me through both of those Hampton games and how you survived up to this point.
So, I mean, the first Hampton game, we originally had a plan, and the plan didn't work. So then we resorted to our backup plan, and our backup plan started to work. We played good baseball after we made the switch. And it wasn't even really that we made mistake over again. It was more so that we made one mistake that they got 3 runs on. And, that was kind of a killer momentum that, starting the game, very first inning, and we have that kind of play. It was tough for us to bounce back from that, but we battled all the way back to the very end. We were 1 run away. We had a guy at third base, 2 outs. We hit a ball in play, and it goes to second baseman, and we get thrown out, and ball game's over. But if we didn't put ourselves in that situation in the first place, we very well could be on top of that game.
And I want to ask you about this too, because it's it was an aggravating scenario for you. But when that lightning delay hits, how do you work around having a lightning delay when you're in the midst of such a game-defining scenario like that?
Yeah, it kills any momentum that
it
you
does.
start with.
I mean, not making excuses for anybody, but at the same time, anybody knows when you're hot like that and something kills the momentum and you've got to wait, you're starting back essentially like you're starting the first inning. There's nothing there.
It kills the momentum that you progress to at that point. And, we tried our best to hold off as far as we can. Luckily, what kind of happened was they were switching a pitcher and then the lightning delay started. So it kind of helped us out, kind of reset our minds instead of just having that first at bat with a brand new pitcher. We got a chance to kind of reset our minds to what the pitcher they brought in. We got to reset our minds to that, and we didn't do terrible at that point. I think we ended up with 2 hits, maybe. No, we had 1 hit by pitch and got a guy on first, and then we stole a bag, and then we stole another bag, and on a RBI. So I mean, it's just one of those things that if we attack like that at the beginning of the game, we have better success at the end of the game. So.
And then you move into last night's victory, an 11-0 win, and I mean, everybody knew the MO of that game. I mean, it's do or die at that point.
Absolutely.
You're in a true elimination game for the next 3 games. If you beat Hampton, you go into another elimination with Chuckey-Doak. You win that one, you have another elimination game. So
Correct.
it's do or die for the next 3 games going into that game, and it seemed like the MO got across to your squad because you put up an 11-0 win. Tyler Davis out there on the mound shoves all 5 innings, only allows, I think, 4 hits, and they all came in the 4th and 5th inning when you had already got up to that point where you had such a big lead. So from the beginning, what was different in yesterday's game compared to Wednesday's?
I think the mentality of it, knowing that, it's a do or die game. Yeah, it's season on the line. It's about to end if we don't get a win right here. I think that had a lot to do with it. Another thing that I think had something to do with it was, we talked about it the night before after they lost with Hampton. We talked about how we didn't play a clean game of baseball. I think in that second game with Hampton, we might have had 1, maybe 2 errors, but I think 1 that I know of for sure. And, from that point on, and that was in the first inning, from that point on, we played excellent baseball. We hit the ball like we were supposed to. We pitched the ball like we were supposed to. Shout out to Tyler for doing a great job hitting the ball. Let's talk about Seth Franklin really quick. Seth Franklin hits a home run ball that goes and peels foul, and then, he's got 2 strikes on him, takes 2 pitches at our balls, and then comes in and hits a bomb same exact spot pretty much. And it actually goes over this time. Just absolute way we approached that game, way we approached our at-bats, just a great job through and through.
And I want to talk about the aggression from that game also. I got there for the tail end of it, I think, for the 4th and 5th innings, and I'm seeing double steals. I'm seeing dropped 3rd strikes. You're throwing over to first with guys on 3rd, and you're sprinting home. Mm-hmm. The aggression seemed like it was different in that game too. And, of course, we've already, beat it to death, but we talk about how it's a win-or-go-home scenario. Yep. I think was that something that you kind of instilled in the boys to have more aggression, or was it just on them that this is win or go home, let's have more aggression in this game to make sure that we do get the win?
That's something that we've talked about all season. It's just taken us to the very end to figure it out. And, we're doing a great job about reading the pitcher right now, and I hope it continues tonight. But, if we keep the same mindset that we did and, get the same jumps that we did, there's a good chance that we're going to see that same aggression. I hope and pray that, we keep our mind, set in stone, knowing that, if we got 2 outs, obviously not try to steal and get thrown out at second base or something like that. But if we keep that aggression and score a couple runs here and there, it's a whole different ball club that we're playing.
And, of course, you go into Chuckey-Doak today. We mentioned it a little bit in the beginning. We'll talk about it a little bit after the break also. But before we go into the break, at the end of every regular season, of course, you have district honors that are handed out.
Absolutely.
You've got first teams, you've got second teams, you've got awards if your team was lucky enough to get any. And, of course, every team has all district honors.
Yep.
I know you had 4 players that had all district honors this year. Go ahead and tell us which players were honored with all district honors.
Absolutely. So, we were supposed to wait until after the tournament to release it, but I think some coaches decided to go ahead and release it. So I'll go ahead and mention mine now. So first off, we have first team all conference, and that would be Colby Brooks and Seth Franklin, 2 great guys. Played for me all 4 years, and just an amazing, 2 group of boys there. And then second team all honors, Brendan and Jacob, another 2 that have played all 4 years. Put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort. 100% put in the effort, put in the work, and I'm super proud with the way that they've played all 4 years. Yep.
And hopefully their season's not over just yet. I know you'd like to advance to regionals for the second year in a row. Got a tough task ahead of you with Chuckey-Doak potentially twice tonight. Going over there to play the first one at 5 o'clock. Of course, this will be released before then. But anyway, we may be Green Sports Zone now, but we still got to pay the bills, and we still got to thank our sponsors. So we'll go ahead and take a short break before we get back to talk about that Chuckey-Doak game here on Green Sports Zone.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee. For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
Welcome back to Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show, where we cover everything out here on the diamond on Rebel Hill with South Greene head coach Dalton Ramsey. So, you got Chuckey-Doak tonight. Of course, if anybody's here at this point, they already know. It's win or go home. You win the first game at 5 o'clock. You then play again at, I believe, 7:30.
7:30. I think it's 7.
Okay.
That's what time set.
You got potentially 2 games tonight that would advance you to the district championship and the region tournament for the second year in a row. It's do or die. You already talked about it a little bit in the second half, but what's it going to take tonight to beat Chuckey-Doak twice in advance?
Clean baseball. We've talked about it, and I'm sure all my videos and all my interviews and these boys have heard it 100 times. If we don't play clean baseball, it's hard for us to win. So if we come out with the right attitude, come out with the right thought processes, and we use it as a motto all week long, win every pitch, win every at bat, we'll win the game. So if we keep that motto going into this, game tonight and second game, if we win the first one, if we keep that motto, we will be fine. But we have to keep that motto.
And of course, attempting to reach the region tournament for the second time in a row too. How meaningful would that be for the seniors to be able to go out and say that they made it to the region tournament twice in a row?
Oh, big, super big for a program like us. For last year being the first regional since I think 2014, 2017, something like that. Since then, and it's a good thing to say that you made it to regionals twice, because in our conference, we're so evenly matched across the board. And then you have some, one year you may have a guy that has a top tier pitcher, and to say you went out and beat a team that is in this conference, it's good. It feels good. And so I'm hoping that the seniors this year have a good chance at saying that they got 2 regional berths.
Of course, attempting to make it back to the region tournament. Hopefully sit down and talk about that next week. But you got Chuckey-Doak today.
Correct.
Of course, those games will be over by the time they see this, so you'll know the results whenever you see this if you are watching this. But, Coach, unless there's anything you'd like to add, I think that's all I got for you.
That's all I got.
All right, Coach. Once again, appreciate you sitting down with me.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful being out here. Got a beautiful scenery out here for us to look at while we do the interview. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Dalton Ramsey Show. Looking forward to seeing you next time here on Green Sports Zone.
Thank you.